Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road, and you're ready to go if you want to. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. Live Music Nation podcast. I'm your host, Jake Gill. Today we're with Adam Tyler from Fountain County Fair. Adam, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you interviewing me and getting to chat with you today.
Adam, give us a little background on you. Where'd you grow up, and what is your association with the fair?
Okay, I grew up in central Indiana, and I grew up in a rural community, so I've had experience with, being outdoors and working around the farm and working with agriculture. And I actually was in teaching for several years prior to coming into Extension. And then I joined Extension in 2019, so been there about 3.5 years. And I'm one of two 4-H educators there in my county. And that's part of our role as 4-H educators in our county, is to help oversee, and we basically manage and take care of and keep the 4-H program up and rolling. And that includes the county fair too. So
Tell us about your county fair. What does it look like? When does it happen? And what events do you offer?
Okay, so our county fair always happens in July. That's kind of the time frame we always shoot for. This year we actually moved it back a little bit, so it's going to be July 14th through the 20th. And usually we always fell around the 4th of July weekend, but we moved it back a week just to help families out because it was a little hard for some that were on vacations and stuff. Our fair is actually a little bit on the unique side, because one thing about our fair is that we don't have a carnival. And this has actually been kind of a historic thing about our carnival. No carnival present since the fair, kind of the inception of the property it was back in the 50s is when the property was donated, because originally our fair was just held at one of our local towns in the park, in tents, and from what I've been told. So our property was donated to us, and part of the agreement when the property was donated to us is that they wanted it to solely be about the youth, and didn't want it to be about carnivals, didn't want it to be about, a lot of stuff that kind of distracted from the youth. So when you come to our fair, it's all about the kids. It's, the audience there is there for the kids, for the shows. We do have other events. We have, like last year, we brought in food trucks. We brought in a food truck night just for fun, for the community. We always have a big fish fry. We have the Beef House, which is a very famous restaurant in our area. They always have our beef producers always have a big dinner with them. Our pork producers, they always do like the pork dinner. We have our local, the South Fountain Pioneers, which is a really neat organization here in our community, which comprises of just different farmers and rural individuals. They have like a little booth there, so they have their famous ice cream and pork burgers, and but they do a dinner too. And then we have really awesome projects in our front building where kids, not just livestock, but everything from Legos to rocketry to crops to farm scenes. And I mean, you kind of name it, we've got a little bit of everything. For being a little rural county, I'd say we have a pretty good little mix and a pretty neat audience and some awesome kids for sure.
Very good. Adam, what's the most rewarding part for you?
The most rewarding part is just getting to work with the kids and see the excitement of the kids, because with it being all about the kids and it all about their projects, just seeing the excitement on their faces and their success, and seeing them, as they succeed. And we have kids that whether they win or lose, it's just, they get the camaraderie between the kids, and it's just a neat experience. And I think that's the most rewarding thing for me, is just seeing the joy in each one of those kids during that fair, especially.
All right. Very cool. All right. 2 fun questions. I'm a live entertainment guy. I'm a live music guy. What's the best concert you've ever seen in your entire life at?
The best one I ever saw was Garth Brooks. I had a chance to see him, and I will say that's one that will always stick in my mind as probably the best and the best, to be honest.
All right. All right. Next question. Dead or alive, you could bring one act to your county fair. Who would you bring?
I'll tell you what, if I could bring one act, I'd say, it would be Johnny Cash. If Johnny Cash was still around, I'll tell you what, that man was amazing. And, if I could bring him back and bring him to our fair, that would be the one act I would definitely bring back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How do people find out more about your county fair, Adam?
If they want to get in contact with us at our extension office, they can call the Fountain County Extension office at 765-793-6240, and anybody in the office can help, or they can go to our Fountain County Purdue Extension Facebook page. We also have the link off of that page for the Fountain County 4-H Fair. So they can go to either and they can learn as much information, and we're always there to help them.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me today.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road, and you're ready to go if you want to.